Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hood 3. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So one of the things that people have been complaining about is NFL analyst and former quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Romo. They're not too happy with this sort of analyzing. He seems kind of lost. The guy is lost. I don't pay attention too much about these broadcasters and these analysts on the football. Boy, people are really ripping into this guy. At least he's not stabbing anybody like Mark Sanchez is. Andrew Marchand is from announcing on Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. That chemistry, that trust is not there. Okay, when you're watching a game and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? That's usually the broadcasters. Okay, well. Let's get into this video, and of course, please hit the like button and subscribe. Comments in the comments section. It wasn't that long ago that Jim Nantz and Tony Romo were considered the gold standard of modern NFL broadcasting booths. In recent years, however, CBS's top booth has experienced some reparational setbacks, often due to Romo's diminishing returns. That's not good. You know, what's going on in the booth? Really. The Athletic's Andrew Marchand has been covering the situation for some time. He was the one who initially reported that CBS brass had an intervention with Romo several years ago to get him back on track. While the company initially pushed back on that mischaracterization, former CBS Sports president Sean McManus later admitted they did meet to discuss some issues. While animus died down last season, Romo has been in the spotlight recently, and not in the best way. His performance in the wild-card game between the Bills and Jaguars was panned, leaving Marchand wondering whether Romo does his homework. While he improved in some way for Saturday's Bills-Broncos call, some of his old ticks remained. Old ticks. He was a good quarterback, but he's good. He wasn't great. Whatever's going on with Romo has been impacted the way he and Nantz called games together in the eyes and ears of many viewers. Marchand previously said of his Marchand Sports Media podcast that the partnership felt like it had been regressing. On Monday, Marchand and John Medaparel discussed the NFL playoffs weekend that was, including Nantz and Romo's call of the game. I tell you, that call, that Kevin Nerlin call of the Bears touchdown late in that game, that was great. After Medaparel said he felt Romo had been disassociated during broadcasts, Marchand explained how he's seen the booth evolve, working against both Nantz and Romo. It seemed clear that they had a game plan going in for Romo to hang back and let Nantz do the heavy lifting at the beginning, said Marchand. They tried this in the Super Bowl a few years ago, and it would have been fun if they didn't mess up the end in the Super Bowl. Tony Romo got the $180 million contract as an analyst for a variety of reasons. But his performance, he was a gunslinger. He didn't know exactly what he was going to say. He was ahead of the game. Then they tried to make him more of a game manager for the Super Bowl. And now he's their number one guy. But my sense is that CBS doesn't fully trust him. Marchand then noted moments of confusion during the broadcast, citing when Nantz and Romo seemed confused by a Bills 4th and 1 play at the goal line, presuming it was a first down. Sometimes these executives, they gotta let their talent be their talent. That might be it. It might be overanalyzing what's going on here with them. Quote, you don't get that confusion with Buck and Aikman. You don't get that confusion with Iron Eagle and J.J. Watt. You don't get that confusion with Burkhardt and Brady. You don't get that confusion with Tirico and Collinsworth. When you're watching a game and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? That's usually the broadcasters. That chemistry, that trust is not there. That Buck and Aikman trust, that I know you're going to go to the right place there, is not there and hasn't been for a long time. Both Marchand and Medaparel ended by acknowledging that while some of this might be nitpicking, the stands that come with being the number one booth command a high bar, and there's a reason this booth gets criticized and others don't. Well, again, if you have a guy that's sort of a gunslinger and he does things shooting from the hip, I guess that, Romo was known to do. And then these executives come in with all their little suggestions. Sometimes that can muddy the water. Sometimes you got to let your talent be your talent. But if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, get him out of here. Fire him. Fire him. Or not have him work with Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz is a great broadcaster, so what the hell is he working with this subpar analyst at this point? I don't get it. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 3. I'll see you later.